This has been a wee bit long overdue, should I say, because 2020 has been a thing for... How much days in January? This is going to be the Celtic team of the decade from, of course, 2010 to 2019. Pick a starting 11. There's going to be a few controversial ones in here, right, because people are going to think,
oh my god, you should have picked him, you should have picked this guy, why did you pick him?
Let's make this team. Hold on, just to make space for this wee bit up here that's going to appear right now. In goals, of course, you had options like Fraser Forster or Craig Gordon, right? I was stuck between the two to an extent because Craig Gordon came in at a time that Celtic needed him so desperately, needed a great keeper, and he saved us in times when it came to like winning the first treble and so on. Fraser Forster, of course, was a keeper, the great wall in the game against Barcelona. He pretty much won us that game that went down into our history. Back and he's saved us in the cup final at the start of this season, so he did. He had a fucking amazing game, I'm not going to lie about that. So Fraser Forster is going in goals for me. Right back, of course, has to be Mikael Lustig, right? He was my favourite player for Celtic when he signed. His passion and love for the club was second to none, honest to God. He might have had a few iffy games towards the end of his Celtic career because he was getting older, his legs weren't there anymore. Played over 160 games for Celtic between 2012 to 2019. He was part of the treble winners, of course, as well. So I just add as well, there wasn't really much right back options I could really put in there anyway. It was really the only right back we actually had. Centre backs, now you've got players like Jason Denayer, you've got Benkovic if you want to put him in, you've got Sviatchenko, Van Dijk, quite a few options out there. You've got Charlie Mulgrew. Who I'm going for is Virgil van Dijk, first of all, who I'm going to speak about quickly. He played with Celtic for 2 years, right? Signed for 2.6 million, I think it was, right? Which obviously proves to be possibly the bargain we were so lucky to get, because he's the best centre-back in world football now. When he came to Celtic, he was an unreal player. He was so comfortable on the ball. He strided and strolled right through the SPL. Everything about him was perfection. He could hit a free kick as a centre-back. He could score long shots as a centre-back. He could dribble as a centre-back. So he's straight in there for me, right? Other centre-back to partner him has got to be Charlie Mulgrew. Charlie Mulgrew was at Celtic for 6 years between 2010 and 2016, scoring, I think it was 26 goals, I think, if that's right and said. A proper player for Celtic. The fans adored him. Mulgrew put an effort in every time for Celtic. Became, again, like most players, became a wee bit iffy towards the end of his Celtic career, but nonetheless, he was phenomenal. Left back, you've got two options here. Izagiri or you've got Kieran Tierney. But who am I going to go with? Of course, it's Kieran Tierney. I think Kieran Tierney, as an actual skillful left back, as a talent, he's got so much more potential to go. I think we got him at a great time, possibly at his prime. He's a solid player at left back. He could get up and create assists, set up goals. He could also get back and defend. He would go right through players, put his all into Celtic, and he loves the cup, right? Right mid, of course, none other than James Forrest. I don't really think of anyone else who deserves to be in this team than James Forrest, a committed, loyal player. To me, I don't think James Forrest ever wants to leave Celtic, but he's still got at least another 5 years, 6 years at Celtic. He's stepped up massively. I think at first he was a good player at first coming through as a youngster, but now he's put himself in that squad and he's shown good signs that when it comes to the big games, like for example the Champions League qualifiers a couple of years ago, he tends to score in these big games where we desperately need. He stepped up and put us through at the Champions League with a last minute goal. I think it was against Shakhtar Karaganda. Always does. He puts his head down and he gets past his fullbacks and gets the balls into the box. He's also more of an open free kind of midfielder now when he goes from right mid to left mid to centre mid. He plays that free role and he's so good at it. His actual technical dribbling ability is improved so much. He will be a Celtic legend officially when he retires. Centre mid position, first of all, is going to be Callum McGregor. 2013, Callum McGregor made his debut for Celtic, came up through the youth ranks. Going to be the next captain after Scott Brown retires eventually. Developed into such a Such a mature centre mid. He holds the ball up really well in that defensive midfield now, and he's kind of reverted from being an attacking midfielder to a certain defensive mid, and I think that's in preparation of Scott Brown retiring eventually. He's full energy into his games. The passion that comes for that boy is incredible. He loves the club, and he loves playing for the club. He's the future captain. He's been at Celtic for 7 years now. He's played a hell of a lot of games, and he puts in a great effort every time. Let's move on to the other centre mid. Captain, leader. So Scott Brown, of course, achieving his 700th game for Celtic. Captain, leader, legend. He has to be in this team. He is, definitely. Scott Brown is phenomenal, right? As a centre mid, he's powerful. He tracks back. He goes through tackles. He can get the odd goal when you really need him, which he has showed at Celtic, which it's quite funny when you see him scoring, to be fair, but you're so proud when he scores. I don't even need to say much more, right? There's so much players I could have put into these positions, like Joe Ledley, Ki Sung Young, Wanyama, do you know what I mean? There's so much players, but McGregor and Scott Brown had to be my centre mids. So left mid, there can't be much debate on this. To me, I would say it has to be Scott Sinclair. So Scott Sinclair, of course, came to Celtic 2016 and left to go to Preston just in January there. I personally loved Scott Sinclair, right? I think the thing about Scott Sinclair is when his full time at Celtic, he won every single trophy domestically possible, right? He can't go down as a failure because when he came to Celtic, his first season, he was phenomenal. Scored a hell of a lot of goals. He scored in the Old Firm games. Skillful. He created chances that most Celtic players would not be able to create, right? He could get past opponents like that. Do you know what I mean? So Scott Sinclair has to be my left mid. Let's move on to the two strikers now. So you've got players like Gary Hooper, you've got like Giorgio Samaras, of course, who would be quite highly up there because he still played with Celtic at the start of this decade. You've got so much players, but look, we're going to go straight in, mate, here. Moussa Dembele. Of course, he went to Lyon for quite a big money move. It's 20 million. Unreal. A goal scoring. He did score a shit ton of goals. It was the Scottish Cup semi-final. He scored against Rangers with that wee flick in the 82nd minute. I'm sure he put us through to the final, which we then beat Aberdeen and won our first treble. He scored an equaliser against Rangers at Ibrox. He scored. There's so much games you could bring up that Dembele has scored in that has been vital. He also scored 2 goals against Manchester City in that amazing 3-3 draw in the Champions League at Celtic Park. Right, so he also scored the first Old Firm hat-trick since 1966. But the last striker I need to go with, of course, is our striking god. Currently, Odsonne Edouard. I want to shut up now because that's embarrassing. So, Edouard, of course, Edouard has to be in there. Edouard is an absolute godsend for us right now in this. But Edouard is actually better than Dembele in my opinion. Edouard is the best striker we've had since Henrik Larsson. The reason I'm saying that is because Edouard is not just a goal scorer. He's not a poacher like Dembele was and Gary Hooper, for example. He tracks back, he holds the ball up, he wins headers, he takes the ball past opponents to create chances, to set up players. He done it against Hamilton at the weekend there. He got 2 goals, he scored a free kick, he scored a goal where he dribbled past opponents. He made so much space in the game where no one would naturally make that space and read the game so well. Set up James Forrest for the final 4th goal when he could have been greedy. So that's why he gets in here for me, because he's not greedy. He is genuinely, to me, world class, right? I genuinely think Odsonne Edouard is world class. Natural gift, it is incredible. You Celtic, please, if you're seeing this, do not sell him for any less than 35 million. Guys, if you've agreed with that, hit the like button. Even if you've not agreed, please hit that like button as well. Subscribe to the channel. Put in the comments who you think should have been in the team as well, who I didn't pick, or so on. Follow the Twitter, of course, as well, as you've seen throughout the video, just to keep up to date with Celtic uploads and so on as well. And follow the Instagram as well.